Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Eric.
How's life?
You know, it's good.
It's good.
I mean, it's
The way
not.
you said that kind of implied it maybe wasn't, but okay.
It's. I don't really. I don't want to complain. You know what I mean? It's. You know how it is. It's just sometimes life gets overwhelming, and sometimes you're just like, why? There's no reason for all this, and it's not even big things. It's just lots of little things that by itself is nothing. But when you have 20 of them piling up, you're just like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But is my life as a whole good? Yeah. I am. I don't know if I brought this up. Well, I brought up my dog Sissy, and that she's sick. So since she's the best dog in the whole world, when she goes to the vet to get her fluids, we then go get a pup cup afterwards at the little coffee shop.
Yeah.
It's just a little local coffee shop, so it's usually just one girl working. That's it. I've been doing this for maybe like, I don't know, 2-3 months now. It's gotten to the point where the girl recognizes us every time we pull up. She's very friendly. And so I finally today was just like, what's your name? Because I see you every single week. So it seems weird that we
Yeah.
don't know each other.
You're like, I know who you are, so how come I don't know who you are?
Yeah. But isn't that weird sometimes? Like there are people that you see frequently throughout your day, your week, or whatever. And you're just like, but I don't know you. I think we sort of talked about this with school, public school, that we're like, you go to school with these kids for, 12 years possibly. And you're like, I know them. I've known them for 12 years, but I don't know anything about them. And that's how I felt. That's how I felt with this girl. I was like, I've seen you once a week for months now. So, but yeah, so it was nice. Made a new friend today.
Nice.
Friend might be a strong
And she
word.
was probably
Acquaintance.
like, she's like, I don't even recognize you.
Yeah, I'm like, I see you every week. She's like, do you?
I mean, maybe?
No, she's very sweet. She's really nice. She always remembers, and she always asks stuff about Sissy and that. So that's why I was finally like, I should introduce myself, but more importantly, I should introduce my dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is what we're all most interested in. Maybe I'll put up a picture of Sissy so everyone can see her, because she's adorable.
I mean, possibly.
I was waiting for the snide comment. Yeah.
I mean, she's not. I don't think she's that adorable. You know that. I mean, I think
She's a classically pretty dog.
You know what?
You cannot tell
I just
me.
realized you just turned me into the bad guy.
Yeah, because you called a dog ugly. How do you feel about that? But you can't tell me that Sissy is not a classically pretty dog. If you looked up dachshund in a dog book, you would see a picture of her. You can't tell me that's not true.
Okay. I mean,
Google dachshund. Well, okay, that's not fair because she's a black and tan. So I think the first one that's going to come up is a red. No,
I mean, I don't
there.
think she's
Second
okay.
image.
So I don't.
Looks just like her.
The problem is you've made me the bad guy now, so I'm just like I
think
can't
I
say
made you
anything
the
because
bad
everyone's
guy.
gonna be mad at me
I think
for being like.
I didn't make you the bad guy. I just exposed you. That's all.
Yeah, but the problem is it's created this situation now where like I can't say anything bad about the dog because then people are going to be like, how dare you, you're evil, especially since the dog is also sick. It's like
elderly.
you've
Sissy's only ever been nice to you. Why do you not like her?
didn't say I don't like again, you're making me the bad guy.
I'm just kidding. You didn't say you didn't like her, but you did say she wasn't cute.
You're making me the bad guy.
Can't believe you said she wasn't cute. She's very cute.
I didn't say that she wasn't cute. At no point did I say that.
You didn't agree, which kind of felt the same.
Unbelievable.
What do you think the cutest dog you've ever seen is?
Cutest dog I've ever seen. I mean, I know you think it's the Target dog.
I do. I don't know that he's the cutest dog I've ever seen, but I do think bull terriers are very cute. I think.
Is that what that is? I don't know what the Target dog is.
I said it, and then I was like, is that what he is? Yeah, bull terrier. Oh my gosh, their little noses that just meld into their face. Oh, so cute. I love them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But do I think it's the cutest dog I've ever seen?
I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of like the majority of I'm picky when it comes to dogs, right? Like I am a dog lover. I like dogs, but I'm not a dog lover indiscriminately, I guess, is what it is, right? It's like it takes certain kinds of dogs for me to like them, or think that I particularly think they're like really pretty, or really cute.
Which, in fairness,
And
I
so
see
it
any dog
depends
and I'm
on the
immediately
dog. I'm
like,
not like
"Ooh, cutie." Doesn't matter.
yeah, I'm not someone that just sees any given dog and is instantly like, that's the most beautiful dog I've ever seen. I love that dog.
Well, I love every dog I see. Are they all cute? Yes. Most beautiful dog I've ever seen? I don't know. But are they all adorable? Absolutely. What
See,
about
I don't think every dog is adorable.
What about an Irish Wolfhound? I think they're so cute. Their little shaggy hair.
I will pet almost any dog, and I will be like, say hi to them and like pet the dogs and be like, you're a great dog. I do not think that every single dog is pretty or beautiful. I think most dogs are just dogs.
The fact that you didn't see, we're gonna lose a lot of people. That one sentence right there, we just lost a lot of people.
What, that not all dogs are beautiful or pretty? It's
They're
dogs
just
are just dogs.
Some dogs are just dogs. That hurt me a little. It hurt me a little bit to hear you say that. It's just like, how sad for you.
I mean,
I'm sorry that dogs
yeah,
don't
some dogs are just dogs. What can
I'm
I
sorry
say?
they don't spark joy in your life.
No, I'll just
What
okay.
does spark joy for you in life? What do you see? Like no, I'm serious. I'm being serious. I want to know what is, because for me it is dogs. Like I see a dog, instantly my day is better. Unless I think it's gonna bite me, then that's a different scenario. But most of the time I see a dog, my day's instantly better. What do you see at any point of any day instantly makes your day better?
Okay, here's the thing though. Just because I don't think every dog is pretty does not mean that when I see a dog, I don't be like, oh, puppy. Like, I still react that way when I see a dog.
But is your day instantly better? You're not just like, oh, dog.
Yeah, usually.
You say, ooh, puppy. You don't go, oh, dog.
No, okay, I've said before that all dogs are puppies. I think all dogs are puppies regardless of age, because puppy is more like a term of endearment than saying like, oh, you're literally a baby puppy. So I am still a dog lover. Like if I see a dog, I'll be like, ooh, dog. Like I literally, you can ask my fiance, if I'm like, we're walking in a park or something and I see a dog, or like walking through even a store and someone has a dog in the store or whatever, I will literally like just like mid-sentence just stop my sentence and be like, dog, and then just keep going with what I was saying. Like I point out dogs when I see them and I want to pet the dogs when I see them. That doesn't necessarily equate to thinking that all dogs are pretty or super adorable or cute. You can like a dog without thinking the dog is pretty.
That's fine. I'll accept that.
I'm just saying, like, I like dogs, but I don't think all dogs are pretty or adorable. And I especially don't think that an ugly dog is automatically adorable.
I think they're just so cute in their own way, you know? Like snowflakes.
I don't think most snowflakes are that cute.
I think snowflakes adorable.
I don't tend to see it snowing outside and just be like, aw, 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 everything's adorable.
Have I mentioned the snowflake thing to you before? Now I don't know.
The snowflake thing?
Yeah.
You mentioned the thing that your...
My mom thinks we're liars?
Yeah,
okay.
Mom. Your mom. I was like trying to remember which maternal figure it was. If it was like a mother-in-law or a mom.
Yeah, okay. Just a quick recap. I'm not going to go into quick recap in case we have talked about it. But basically, my mom had eye surgery. She could start seeing things. She's been, pretty much blind her whole life. Now she can see things clearly, has amazing vision. We were trying to think of things that would be exciting to see with clear vision. And I said a snowflake. And she genuinely, I think, even to this day, thinks we're messing with her. So anyway, that was it. She thinks snowflakes are blobs.
Wait, so even after I knew that story, but I thought she could see snowflakes now after
no,
eye
surgery. She hasn't seen a snowflake since because, she lives in a more tropical climate. So she hasn't seen a snowflake. But she keeps asking people who have been around snowflakes what a snowflake looks like, and they tell her, and she's just like, See,
what's crazy to me is how you can. I understand like you've never seen one, but like how can you have gone through as much life as that? Well, I don't know how old she is, but I have to assume like a fair amount of life, and not be aware, at least in concept, that snowflakes have a shape beyond just blobs.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a lot of things though, like hearts, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, eventually most people learn like a heart is not shaped like a heart, like the classic little heart shape. I didn't know why I was like, I had no way to describe that. I was like,
that's because it's the heart shape.
It's
the spade minus the tail and flipped over.
But yeah, I feel like there's a point where you kind of do learn that But I think she thought it was just like, okay, no, what it was is it's not that she didn't, I remember this now, sorry. It's not that she didn't think snowflakes looked like that. She thought snowflakes only looked like that, like under a microscope. She didn't realize, like, with your own eye, you could see that.
Oh, okay.
So
They're like
that's what
if
it
they were
was.
large enough, you could.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what? That's
fair.
fair
That's fair.
because I feel like there was a moment in my childhood where I had kind of the same realization. And
Yeah.
obviously, it's like we live somewhere where it snows, but like I
It is specific
remember
snow. It is
like
specific snow
seeing
that
things
does
about
that.
snowflakes and seeing like the like pictures of all the snowflakes and how like they're all unique and there's no two that are alike and how they're so, like how they designed and how cool they
Yeah.
look. And then I was like, I think there was a moment probably after that where one of the times it was snowing I had the realization of wait a minute, I can like see the snowflakes. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like I would think there was a point in my life where I thought it was also like microscopic.
Right.
And not that
That's
there were ones you could just straight up see.
That's what it was. I remembered, like, once we started talking about it, I was like, yeah, but no, like, why did she say that? But it's because she thought that was more like under a microscope, not you could see with your own eyes. But in fairness, it is very specific snow that you can do that with. And it's typically you have to catch it on like a dark fabric and then it's easier to see. But sometimes you get that Dippin' Dot snow. And obviously
Yeah.
that's different because that is just like a little ball of snow. It's a little wad. So that's different.
Hey, you wanted something absolutely insane? Because I just looked this up because I was curious.
I want to know it.
According to the Guinness World Records book, the largest snowflake ever reported was a 15-inch wide and 8-inch thick snowflake.
Where was this?
In January 28th in 1887, Clark Fork River Valley near Missoula, Montana.
How many witnesses are there?
I don't know.
Okay.
So the theory, okay. So the theory was that rather than being a single snowflake, it was probably many smaller snowflakes or crystals that stuck together.
Right. And then, yeah. That makes
Scientists
sense.
expressed skepticism about a single cohesive flake of that size, suggesting it may have been a rare, large cluster of crystals, though they concede that unusual meteorological conditions can form massive aggregated flakes.
That makes sense. I feel like sometimes you see that with the
The
way
largest
ice
individual snow
crystallizes.
crystal ever recorded was 0.39 inches wide. So that would be 10 millimeters. So that would be just under a half an inch wide, which is still a beast of a snowflake.
I'm impressed that you did the conversions that fast.
It said both of them. I didn't do the conversions.
All right. I knew it. You said it with too much confidence and you said it too quickly.
Yeah, it's because I was reading it and it said both
I did not know
right
you
there.
were that good at like converting measurements. That's impressive.
Also, the world's largest snowball was 43.67 feet wide in diameter.
Do you make the paper snowflakes anymore? Like to decorate?
I mean, I have. When you say do you make them, it's kind of like I feel like you're implying like is this a yearly occurrence or like a regular
Is this,
thing?
like,
And the answer is
something
no,
you
not
do?
regularly, but I still have.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is it something you've done recently in your life?
I feel like the last time I cut out a paper snowflake was probably like over a year or two. But it's not like it's been a ridiculously long time.
I think for me, it's been a ridiculously long time. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, paper snowflakes, unless you're. In my experience, they are definitely like a kid's craft kind of thing.
I was just
Which means
thinking.
unless you're like decorating for a kid's event, like a school or something, or you're doing them with kids during like the winter, I
Yeah.
don't feel like it's something that like as an adult you just sit down and do. Now, I may be wrong. There may be people out there that do that.
I think
But
I'm
I've
going
never
to.
really found that like I just want to make a paper snowflake.
I think this winter, I think that's gonna be a little craft I do. Maybe I'll invite a niece or nephew over to do it with me. Maybe I'll do it by myself. I don't know. But I have all that
You
crafting.
should just do it by yourself first.
Well, I was
you know,
thinking
get
I have all the
practicing.
like crafting paper with all the patterns and stuff on it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen.
Do you know how to fold the paper in thirds?
Yeah, I was.
So
gonna
you
say,
get like a 6-pointed snowflake, like a real one, instead of like an 8-point.
I've seen but I'm gonna learn. Do you want to
You don't
come
know how
over?
to do that?
Should this be our other craft? We do pumpkin carving in the fall. We do snowflake making in the winter.
I mean, I feel like we need one in the summer or spring if you're gonna do that. But okay.
Well, spring, I made Valentine's fortune cookies. That's what I just did
What?
recently. Oh, did I not tell you about this? I made
No.
I made paper, not real fortune. I made paper fortune cookies. Although maybe next year I'll make actual fortune cookies. I don't know. We'll see. But I just made paper fortune cookies. And then I put little cutesy fortunes in them. And then I took them to a Galentine's Day party I went to. They were
Because I knew
adorable.
about the Galentine's Day party, but you didn't tell me about the fortune
Oh yeah,
cookies.
I made little fortune cookies and they were adorable. And I put,
Did you
you
make the
know,
fortunes weirdly specific?
and no, I I should have though. That would have been really funny.
Like not even to one person, but just like hyper specific as far as what's gonna happen.
No, I should have. I should have just put things in there and just seen if any of them worked out. No, I didn't really. I did like the classic fortune cookie thing where it's not really a fortune. You know, it's just more of a statement.
That's not really classic. I feel like that's modern.
Oh, sorry,
Modern
modern
fortune
fortune
cookies have been
cookies.
running into this trend where like you open the
Mm,
fortune cookie and rather than like saying something about the oh, you'll find good luck in your career in the next week or something like that, it says like joy is found in friends or something like
yeah,
some dumb
that
platitudes and
was
it's like
that's what I put.
that's not a fortune, that's just statement.
Yeah, I put stuff like you are gorgeous. You light up a room.
So you
You're
just
a
put
wonderful
lies in it.
friend. Well, they're not lies because I don't know who they're going to.
They could be
It
lies.
could have been
Depends on
lies.
who
Could have
opens
been
it.
truth. I don't know. It's like I've
So
never.
you could have someone open it that says you're a wonderful friend right after their best friend just yelled, they got in a big fight and was like, you're a terrible friend.
I want to point out that this Galentine's Day, it's like a bunch of people coming. So I do know some of the people. I don't know some of the people. I don't want it to sound like these are all my friends, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have no idea if they're a great friend.
You want to make sure that if they're listening to the podcast, they're not going to be like insulted that you're like, well, I don't know if they're a good
Like there were
friend.
people I met for the very first time at that party. So I'm like,
You
I
just
don't
like
know.
covered your bases. Like they may not be best friends, but
I don't know if you're a good
yeah,
friend. have no
I
idea.
I think fortune cookies need to go back to being actual fortunes.
Yeah.
And I assume, here's my theory. My theory as to why they moved away from fortunes is because pointless platitudes are less predictive, which means you can get away with the whole like, oh, my fortune didn't come true and people get mad and it's like, no, but it's just a platitude, right?
Yeah.
But like if you put a fortune in there, people are like, oh no, my fortune didn't come true and now I'm going to sue the fortune cookie company or whatever nonsense they're going to do. But it's like I think it'd be funny if you made fortune cookies that were all hyper specific.
I think that's what I'm gonna do next time I make fortune cookies. I think I'm gonna make them. Maybe I should do that. Have like I was just thinking of like what's coming up in my life, and just ooh, can I put fortune cookies out at your wedding?
No.
Aw, man. But what if you open one that says you'll get married today?
But if anyone else opens that one, it's going to be throwing them off.
I'll be like, wait a second.
No, but I was just picturing things like the fortune cookie. You open it and it reads like in exactly 2 hours you're going to trip, fall, and dent your bright blue hydro flask or something like that. It's like these weirdly specific. Like, wait a minute.
You're gonna find a $5 bill with the upper right corner torn off. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like tomorrow when you're at work, you will get an email that says you've won $1 million. It will be a scam, but you will get the email anyway.
You're gonna go on a wonderful night out with the person you love. You'll also step on gum.
Yeah, just like instead of being general like vibey, they're just like nope, very very specific things.
Super specific.
It's like if you wear that one blue shirt, you know which blue shirt I'm talking about. If you wear that one blue shirt tomorrow, it'll be a good day.
It'll be a good day. I really like that idea. I like giving them just like hints to things. That's a fun idea.
Like advice that
Yeah.
it hints things. It's like that. You know, you should do this.
You want to
should
have
clap
a good
more often.
Yeah, yeah, you want to have a good day? Skip at least 4 times.
It's like, you know, people don't applaud as much as they used to. You should clap more often.
You know, we should applaud more. Just in general. How often do you think you could start a
Round of applause, like
Yeah,
get a whole
thank
bunch
you.
of people to do
My
it.
brain just kept going ovation and I'm like, that's not really what I was looking for.
Standing or sitting ovation. Here's a thought. What is the definition of the word ovation?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know. I don't know that it's not the word I was looking for.
I don't actually know what ovation means.
Ovation Television Network.
Ovation definition. Okay, I don't care about what it generally refers to. AI
An
overview.
enthusiastic
A
show of
sustained-
appreciation by an audience.
Yeah, it's a sustained or enthusiastic.
But this is
Also, in Roman history, it was a processional entrance into Rome by a victorious commander of a lesser honor than a triumph. So if you return to Rome triumphantly, no, slightly less than triumphantly. If you return to Rome victoriously, but not triumphantly, then you return in an ovation.
they're like, you did okay. I guess we'll applaud. It was fine.
I mean, like that's probably where it comes from, right?
Which
It's
is
sort of
weird
the applauding the returning
because
heroes.
now it's if you do exceptionally well, you get an ovation.
Yeah, like standing ovations has become like specifically for triumphant when it used to be a mediocre level of praise.
Can I ask you a dumb question? Are innovation and ovation related? Are they two
No,
separate words entirely?
they're completely separate words. They just have vation in them.
Ovation. That's why I was just curious. I didn't know if it was like, sometimes you just slap a
Innovation.
thing on the
Innovation.
beginning
Well,
or end.
innovation would be when you don't applaud because someone has mild success.
Yeah. No.
Huh.
No
No,
ovation. None
no,
ovation.
no ovation.
Non-ovation.
Novation.
Non-ovation.
Novation. It's like, you want to applaud for him? Novation.
No ovation.
Novation. Is that just the like when they fail, you just sort of shake your head, you're like, novation. That is fascinating that like the and that's interesting, like you said, that it's like it's evolved from a triumphant level of like
Yeah.
celebration to, or from a minor celebration to like the massive one now. It makes me wonder, like,
Yeah.
is there another level that we're supposed to be doing for like when something's truly triumphant? Like, say a concert, you should give them a standing ovation, but like an Olympian, is there something you should do more when they come home like with a gold medal? Is that like you're
Oh,
supposed to
yeah.
be, because that's triumphant?
Oh,
That's
wait,
more
is
than
that
ovation.
why? Is that why maybe we started parades? When did parades start? What was the first parade?
I don't know. When did parades start? I mean, parades. I mean, I'm assuming the word comes from like military, right?
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. It used to be when the military went through, and then everyone would line the streets and kind of like celebrate.
When was the first
They're either
parade?
leaving or coming back, right?
Ceremonial processions have existed for thousands of years.
Vague.
The first
Love it.
recorded parade, according to the AI overview, was a St. Patrick's Day parade on March 17th in 1601 in St. Augustine, Florida. Early, formal, and widely recognized parades began in 1760s and were cemented to celebrate the new Constitution in 1788. That kind of implies that like the parade as we know it is an American invention.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I would agree
honestly.
with that. Yeah, fun, ostentatious.
The first significant procession to be documented in the United States was one that took place in Philadelphia the day the Constitution was ratified on June. I was reading the summary and then I actually tapped the article to find the date, and now I have to find where I was reading. 21st of 1788, yeah. Did not display the typical street line ceremonial organization of a parade, and ended as it was the custom at the time, with all the participants, the surrounding public, gathering together like neighbors to feast around a communal larder. Why don't we have parades like that anymore?
I feel like that just sounds like a tailgate at this point.
Okay, it was between 1825 and 1850 that the parade emerged as the traditional format, becoming the norm of street ceremonial and American public life.
Don't we have a thing like that where they do like a little? No, I guess it's on like 2 different days. I was gonna say I thought they had a thing with like the rodeo where they do like a parade and then they have a pancake breakfast or something, or maybe a pancake breakfast and then a parade. I don't know, or maybe it's unrelated.
I mean, parades in general, originated in ancient times with like burial rituals or like funeral processions,
Right.
Roman military triumphs, etc.
Yeah,
But like
that's
the
true.
first like traditional parade was in the 1601, and then the American Revolution, like June 1788 one, and then there was the like later in the 1880s when parades became somewhat more to what they are like now.
Well, and that's what I meant, because even there you said procession, and I feel like for some reason procession and parade give you the exact vibe of what's going on.
Well,
you
because
know what I mean?
I feel like, to me, now I may be wrong on this. Let me see if Google has an answer for this. But before I get to Google's answer, I'm going to give you my opinion.
That's why
I
prefer.
would think that a parade is more showy, and a procession is more. It's kind of
Somber.
like a party versus like a gathering, right? It's like one of them is about the show and the display and the fun, and processions are more about like they're slightly more serious. Like a processional for like a wedding even is like it's fun, but it's more serious in some ways than a parade. And like funeral processionals or like funeral not pyres, but like marches or even like military parades, or processions, I guess, parades. They're still called parades. I don't know. I think there's a different energy to them. I feel like I would say a parade has like high energy and excitement, and a procession is more somber or serious.
I know we've already planned my death, but I would prefer a parade over a procession personally. I won't be
Google
there, but-
says that a procession is more formal, solemn, orderly. Parades are celebratory and feature like brighter costumes, colors, music, spectacle, etc.
You hear that? We're as smart as Google.
Yeah, because I was basically right.
Yeah. We're not dumb sometimes.
We're as smart as Google? I'm sorry. I said that. You didn't have an opinion.
Said earlier that parades were more fun and ostentatious and that processions are more somber. Okay?
Did you, though?
I did. It's recorded.
Yeah, you're right. It is recorded. I was going to argue it, but
Does that
actually you're
mean-
right. It is just straight up recorded.
Will that stop me from gaslighting you in the moment? No, but it is this time, in fact, correct.
You want to know something I've never looked up on the idea of ovation and innovation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I like
Is
the
the
idea
wor-
that you've thought about this before or something.
No.
Like 6 years ago, actually.
No. But what I wanted to look up was, are the words aspirate, as in like choking on like when you aspirate, you choke on your like your own saliva or something, and aspiration related?
Because it takes your breath away. It's so smart.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, okay, I know the difference. I want to know if they're related, I guess. I want to know if aspirate and aspirations, they share the root in the Latin aspirare. Aspire? To breathe upon, blow out, or breathe.
Yeah, I don't know. I only took first year Latin.
You took any Latin? I didn't take any Latin.
I did. Listen, I was trying to make my senior year real easy, so I took a first level class.
How did aspire come to mean two different things? That doesn't help, okay? It was a Reddit post and it had one comment that was like, what do you mean? Aspire only means one thing. It's like, this guy does not get it.
Dude, you should, hey, leave a comment and ask him to come listen to the podcast and we'll tell him all about it.
That was like 8 years ago. That was ages ago.
I bet he'll find it. He'll see it. And he'll be like, someone responded to this.
They both come from the word. So because we're as smart as Google, and Google doesn't have an answer, let me answer this, okay? They both come from the word to breathe in or draw out, right? And one is to aspirate. So obviously one's very literal. It's you're breathing in or like inhaling liquid, aspirating, right? But aspirations, metaphorical. Aspirations is metaphorical. So how does aspirations, the metaphorical concept of having something you're striving to reach or like trying to attain, how does that relate to breathing? This is saying the reason why it's the aspirations is likely referring to panting with desire, like wanting something so badly it takes your breath away or it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, it just says it was adopted in the late 14th century, meaning a strong desire or ambition to achieve something. Is this where we go back to where English is just made up by sticking other words together and being like, yeah, that's a word?
I mean, okay, so I do this thing, right, where people will sometimes be like, I'm a proponent for language evolves and changes, and I have siblings and like a mother that
oh, that was harsh.
get annoyed at that. Well, I didn't. Okay, it came out that word. When I said mother, it came out a little bit like mother, but it was more just like I'm saying
like
sibling and mother.
You had a hard feeling behind that.
No. What I was getting at is they're more on the side of like you sound like an idiot because you're using the words wrong or using English wrong, and it's like, well, that's true, and rules for language and grammar exist for a reason. I'm also a huge proponent for like the language evolves and changes and is inherently not a static structure, right? Because like society and culture is not static, and language facilitates communication, which means it has to evolve.
I agree with you, but you are wrong because you and I have discussed this before, and as we know, women are why language evolves. So
no.
You're not allowed to make up words.
Okay. So you're okay. Context. Okay, we're gonna have to back all the way up. Okay, so
irritation in your voice.
For my capstone project, when I finished my degree, and for those that don't know, my degree is in English. Okay, so for my final project that I did in my bachelor's degree, I did a paper on English and not English, it was on language, but it was specifically on like the way that language evolves, okay, and why and how, and a little bit of focus on like how the internet has changed the evolution of language. But there is a book that I highly recommend to any linguistic people out there that would read because it's fascinating, that's called Because Internet by Gretchen McCulloch.
Is that the one I have?
And yes,
Okay.
you have this book. I gave it to you so you could read it.
Yep. I will.
Phenomenal book. Not sponsored, but it's just, she's a linguist, and it's a really interesting book about how language evolves, and specifically like the internet. In that book, she makes a comment. I think it's in her book. It might have been in some other part of research I did, but I think it was in her book. There's a comment about how historically women tend to be a larger driver of language evolution than men do. And the reason why was because of the traditional, like, historic nuclear family situation with, like, the housewives situation, where they would be interacting with their other, with the other housewives and friends, and they're also the ones raising the children, which means if something changed, like say one of them started using a word slightly different for a slightly different meaning, it could spread to the kids, which would then spread through the schools or like to their friends, and it would affect the next generation's language, because the child rearers were the primary caretakers and child rearers were the ones that were influencing the language of their kids.
And probably mostly
And
the
that's
community.
all historical. That's not,
Yeah.
I mean, I would bet the numbers are changing now, but like historically that was the one of the larger sources of like the way it spread, at least. If not necessarily the way why it changed, but like one of the ways it would spread if like a new word evolved, I guess. And the problem is, I told you this, and now you have latched onto this idea,
Well-
and you're just like, anytime you use anything wrong language-wise, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not the right word, or that's weird, you're like, yes, but women create language, so therefore.
Yeah, anytime I mispronounce something and you call me out, I just go, right, I'm creating language. Leave me alone.
Which I don't think you're allowed to use if you haven't even read the book yet.
I'll read it at some point, and then you can't use that excuse anymore, because then I'll be like, no, I've read it.
Yeah, but until you read it, I don't think you can keep using that as an excuse for like the language. It's like, no, you have to have firsthand, you can't just go off of what other people tell you, Cassie. Like, you got to learn for yourself.
No, that's how language was created. Other people told you this was the word, and then you're like, yeah, okay.
Fine.
Fine.
Be that way. Yeah. I think, you know what I think it is?
Huh.
So as far as the going back to like my brother and my mom, and I think actually I have multiple brothers that are more on the side of like it bothers them when people use English wrong, is I think what it is that, so one of the things that the book talks about is that like language is changing more rapidly because of the internet and social media
Absolutely.
and et cetera, right? And because of that, I think it's more visible. Whereas you go back 200, 300, 400 years, right?
Yeah.
Language is still evolving. Obviously, it's evolving, but it's going to evolve at a much slower rate probably and be less widespread, which means like from a generation to generation to generation, you're not going to have that issue where like every generation, and it's actually getting even faster, but almost like every generation now, you're like, I don't understand what the kids these days are saying because it's all slang that's like new, right? And it's only getting faster because now it's like the at least linguistically, the generational gaps of slang, I feel like instead of being a full generation is like half a generation.
Yeah.
400 years ago, that wouldn't have been much of an issue because I don't think it would have spread as quickly or changed as quickly.
What's the new thing? I'm sorry, I was just thinking there's a thing that kids say now instead of, oh man, I can't remember what it was. I don't know where I was going with that. It was something that kids say now instead of, what was it they were saying before? Riz or whatever. It's something they
Well,
have to
Riz
say.
is not even, the funny part about Riz is that's not even new slang.
But that's the thing, is a lot of times what they're saying isn't new slang. It's just
But there are
more
plenty
current
of
now.
slang words that
Yeah.
are. The thing
Oh,
is, there's plenty that
absolutely.
are.
Yeah.
But like Riz is one that's so funny because I've heard people complain about Riz, and it's like you realize the first recorded uses of Riz and when it was really popular was in like the 1920s
Yeah.
or something like that. It was like a long time
Yeah.
ago.
That was what was the really dumb one that people used to say? Was it fleek? What was the-
Specifically on fleek.
on fleek. But my mom was saying that like people used to say that in the 80s. She's just like she said when it came back, she was like, really? We're trying that one again, huh? Like,
Yeah.
and
funny
again,
thing
it
is
didn't
there are
last very
some-
long.
There are some slang things that are actually like so stupid. And then there's ones that I'm like, actually makes sense to me and I like that one. And some of them are generational things, but also they're not all entirely because like I'm not from the generation that used like lit or like saying
Yeah.
something is fire as saying something's really cool or like it's really good. But I actually kind of like those ones. Like I don't really use them that often, but I don't hate them. They don't
What?
bother me in the same way that some of the other really stupid ones do, like skibbity.
What do you think your I mean, obviously, I don't know how to ask this because I think most people kind of talk in some kind of slang way. Like we don't speak
Yeah.
proper English all the time, right? But what do you think your most used like slang word is?
Most used that technically is slang.
Yeah.
And I honestly had never thought about the fact that it was a slang term
Mhm.
until my fiance pointed out that she's never heard it used that way, is the word snitch. Because my family has always, my entire life, so not necessarily my whole family's history, but my life, we've always used the word snitch in reference to like sneaking something. Specifically in reference to like food, like sneakily taking something.
Yeah.
But like especially food.
Mhm.
So if like someone's cooking and you walk through the kitchen and like literally about to use it as a verb, like the snitch some food, it's like you're walking by and like grabbing a small pinch and just tossing it in your mouth as you walk by. That's snitching. Is you're just like, I'm snitching food, or I'm snitching food off your plate, or I'm like, you have snacks and I'm snitching like one from your handful or something. It's like that's the way that my family's always used it. And I like my fiance made the comment where she was like, first time I used that, she's like, I've never heard like that
Yeah.
word used in that context. She's like, what does that mean? And I had to explain it. I'm like, wait, that's not a thing? It's a slang that like apparently just my family and my family circles use. Had you ever heard that?
I've never heard it used like that. No. That is
Oh,
interesting.
so yeah, it is just us.
The only one that got me was off like a herd of turtles. When you said
Yeah.
you said that one time, and that threw me because I've only ever heard my family say that. And I know it's not like uncommon, but it was just it threw
Yeah.
me. And I was like, wait, what? What did you just say?
You know where? Yeah, the off like a herd of turtles. I mean,
It's not,
I've heard it's not a super
Yeah.
common one, but I've heard other people use
but that's
it.
what I mean. It's not like uncommon in that I think like the way that you guys use snitch, I would say is pretty uncommon usage, right? Off like a herd of turtles, very generic saying, really. Just not you just don't hear it a lot, you know?
The funny thing about snitch, I'm trying to think now because I just never thought about it really as a word, like the origins of it
Yeah.
in that context. But I wonder where it came from. I wonder if it was from like you take some food, someone's like, I saw that, and then you call them a snitch or something, and then it
Yeah,
slowly
and
evolves
then it
from
just
that
evolved.
idea into like snitching
Yeah,
food.
could have been. Are you gonna
I don't know.
is this your new family project? You're gonna track back the word snitch?
I would be curious to ask some of my like siblings or my mom and be like,
when did that
hey,
start?
do you know where snitch came
Yeah.
from?
That'd be really
Because apparently it's not a thing.
funny. Apparently other people don't say this.
No, it is a thing.
Oh. Other people don't say this.
The definition of the word snitch can mean inform on someone or an informer, which is what everyone knows.
Right.
But the first definition actually means to steal. Like he snitched the umbrella for when he went fishing.
That's weird.
The first definition is
He
as a
snitched
verb.
the
It's like-
umbrella
it's
for when
someone-
he went fishing?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a lot of questions about this. How big is this umbrella? Is he holding the umbrella and the fishing rod? That just seems like a lot. Is he posting the umbrella somewhere and then fish? I'm confused.
It's just like taking wait, hold on. Let me look at the sentence again. He snitched the umbrella for when he went fishing. I think it's
Yeah.
like he swiped the umbrella for when he went fishing.
Well, what I'm saying is, how is he using the umbrella and the fishing pole at the same time? That's what I'm asking. Why take the umbrella at all?
I don't know.
You don't think this is weird? That's a weird sentence. Think about it. Go with me on this. He snitched the umbrella for when he went fishing. Now I want to know. I just want to know how big.
That makes it sound like he's fishing with the umbrella.
Right? This is why I'm confused. I'm like, is he using the umbrella and the fishing pole? Is he like spearing the fish with the umbrella?
See, look. Okay, so it's not just me. I Googled snitching food, and the AI overview says snitching food refers to two distinct behaviors: taking small bites from someone else's plate, often with social, albeit sometimes annoying consent, or more formally, that's reporting someone who's stealing food. But it's the first description there is the like swiping food.
Yeah.
Like small bites.
That's interesting. Yeah, isn't that funny? Because I've never heard it used that way before.
Yeah, but apparently that's not a like here's an article from 2016 that says, is it wrong to snitch food off your dining companion's plate?
Depends on the dining companion.
No, yeah, it does heavily, but no, but still like
It's a really generic sentence.
that's interesting that it's not just my family. It's not a us thing. I mean, sure, the usage of it's pretty rare, but still like it is a thing that exists.
I really want to know one other person that says this. I know they're out there, and I want to find them.
Because my family's it's like we use it all the time. Like I use snitch in reference to like sneaking food, specifically like when cooking. My family's main snitching is usually when cooking, like the snitching food while you're cooking. like my family has this tendency that the person who cooks the meal is often not necessarily that hungry by the time the meal's done because we've snitched so much food or quote unquote tasted so much food while we're cooking that we're not hungry afterwards.
I want to know. I now want to find out how often this word is used. I'm going to start asking everybody I know.
Hey, if you're listening to this podcast and you use snitch in the context that my family uses snitch, leave a comment.
Yeah, please. Leave a comment anyway. Just let us know how your day's going.
That's when the only people that leave comments are my family members that listen. They're like, yeah, I use it like that.
We
And
do
it's
in
like,
fact do that.
duh. Okay, if you are not related to me in any way, shape, or form, but you use snitch in that context, leave a comment. If you're related to me, don't do it. You can leave a comment about something else, but not snitch.
Do you take food from other people's plates without asking?
It depends on who it is.
Just
like,
tell me who you don't.
siblings, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if we're going out to eat, I will 100% snitch food off my siblings' plates, without even batting an eye. But they'll also do the same thing. So, and like we regularly will do the thing where we'll order like 2 different things and then split it in half and swap like the half anyway. So you have
I feel
the 2
like
things.
Swapping is totally different than if there's something on their plate and you just reach over and take it,
It depends on what it is, right? Like if let's say we went to a steakhouse and they got like 3 grilled shrimp. I'm not going to steal a grilled shrimp because there's only 3, right?
I was thinking you take the
But
whole
say
thing.
they have bottomless fries, I ain't gonna like have qualms about stealing a fry when they have bottomless fries, or even if they have like 100 fries or whatever it may be.
That's so weird.
And then like I'll snitch food from like my fiance. We snitch food from each other from plates. Well, we don't. It doesn't. It's not less snitching because it's not really sneaky. It's more like tasting their food. Be like, hey, is that good? I want to try it.
My husband Trey and I will just honestly, we more offer it than the other person ever has to ask or anything, but it'll be more like, oh, do you want some fries? Or like if one of us gets bottomless fries, it'll be like, oh, I got this to share. Oh, have some, right? Or if me and my sister go out, it'll be the same thing. It'd be like, oh, have some of these, But I don't think I would, or a lot of the people I know would just reach over and take a fry,
Yeah, but it's a certain type of relationship. You have to have like, you don't do that with like friends or acquaintances unless they're close friends, probably.
That's what I'm saying, though. I just mean like even people I'm close to, there's still this little bit of like, it's also a thing where they don't have to ask because you've already offered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, like as soon as the plate comes, it'll be like, do you want some of this? You can have these fries, right? It'll be like that. So it's like they don't even have to ask. But
am I the okay?
if they
So here's
didn't
another thing
offer,
about restaurant etiquette.
I know for a fact I've sat there before and like seen Trey's French fries, and I'll just sit there, and then he'll be like, "Do you want a French fry?" And I'm like, "Yes, thank you." Like I don't.
Okay, so here's an idea. Here's a question about restaurant etiquette. If someone orders something and says this is for the table, do you feel weird about eating it anyway?
If someone buys something and they say it's for the table,
like say
I might take a tiny
let's just say like
bit.
Fries as an example, right?
Right.
Like they get a big old order of fries and say this is for the table and put it in the middle of the table.
Yeah, I might take like a few fries, but I'm definitely not going to eat the majority of the fries.
Yeah, because it still feels, even if they say it's for the table, it still feels like at least to me, like you can't eat more than like even if you divide it in your brain, say there's like 4 people, divide it in your brain in quarters. I'm not going to eat a full quarter because that still feels like too much.
It feels wrong. And then especially if they're just like, I bought this, you're not, like, I'm not, like, you're saying it in a way that they're not expecting you to pitch for it. Like, oh, let's get fries for the table, right? Let's get fries for the table then implies everybody's pitching so you can have your full quarter, right?
Yeah.
I bought fries for the table. Then I'm like, no, I'll just take like 4 fries and I'm good, thank you.
I'm of the opinion that if, let's say someone buys fries for the table, right?
Yeah.
I think, and they say this is for the table, I feel like, to me, that rather than it being a 25% of the fries to each person, it's more like it's like 40% of the fries to the person that paid for it, and then you divide the other like
you divide
60%,
that up.
it's like 20% to each other person.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way because I feel like not taking any is kind of rude because they bought them for you, but then you don't want to take too many because you're also not contributing,
And then, of course, you can go out to eat at a restaurant with a group of friends. Or one of you can order a plate of nachos for the table. Only 2 of you can eat off that plate of nachos the entire time, and then both get violently ill from the food poisoning that you got from those nachos. Not speaking from experience.
No experience here.
But I did have that happen. I don't know. Yeah, we went to, it was a group of like 6 of us, and we got a plate of nachos for the table, and only 2 of us ever ate off the nachos. And then we were both like incredibly sick for the next like 24 hours. And we're like, that was definitely food poisoning. And it was definitely from the nachos because it's the only thing that both of us ate and no one else touched.
Do you, though, and I want to know this, and I'm sure a lot of it depends on who you're eating with. If you do have like an appetizer for the table, do you just take bites out of the appetizer? Like, bites sounds weird. Like nachos. Do you just take the chip, eat it? Or do you kind of like scoop out some of the nachos, put them on a plate in front of you, and eat them that way?
Okay, so it depends, right? Because
Depends
if
on
you're
the
saying,
person.
you were saying from like a central plate, like a for the table
Yes,
situation?
I'm saying like they bring over like the appetizer plate. Do you take your portion off and put it on your own plate, or do you just keep eating off the appetizer plate?
I would say it depends on who the other people eating off the plate are.
For sure.
Because
I'm
if it was like
saying,
me and like my like a sibling or me and like my fiance,
I'm
I'd just
saying
eat off
just
the plate.
friends.
I wouldn't
I'm
think
saying
anything
just
of eating off the
friends,
plate.
not people you're like, people you know, but people you're not super close with. Just
Not even
friends.
close friends, just friends.
Just friends.
Then I would probably get a plate. I would get a plate and
You
use
and
like
I
a
are
fork
out to
to
dinner.
like
We get
scrape
an
and scoop a bunch
appetizer.
off and then eat off that plate. Wait, what?
I said, you and I out to dinner. We get an appetizer.
Oh, well, if we get an appetizer, I'm gonna order my own because I can't trust that you didn't poison the one you ordered for the table.
Smart. Yeah, yeah, honestly, there's only a few people I think I could share an appetizer plate with. I think most situations I'm like, put mine on a separate plate, eat that. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would do a separate plate for most situations.
Honestly, most situations kind of call for a separate plate anyway, but I was thinking
Yeah.
kind of nachos are one of those where it's like you might just keep taking, chips and dip, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was just curious. When you mentioned that you and someone else were sharing nachos. I was like, did you split the nachos in half or did you just keep eating off the same plate? Maybe now we know how you got sick.
No. I think we did split it. I don't remember exactly, but I think we did split it into separate plates.
Yeah. Sure. That makes you feel better.
I think. I don't recall specifically.
I don't like it's not that I won't share stuff. It's just that I don't really want to share plates and things with people. Like Trey, it's fine.
You don't want to share plates.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's a thought.
I can share what's on the plate, but you have to put it on your own plate.
Here's a tray. Here's a tray for you. Here's a question about Trey and you. When you go out to eat, on average, who eats more?
Me.
Okay, so if if one of you has leftovers and rather than taking it home, you're just gonna like pass it to the other person, eat it. It's usually you that eats the leftovers.
Yeah, I would. Now it's
Nice.
harder, but yeah.
Because of the veganism
like when
thing.
we used to go out for breakfast.
Because of your condition.
Yeah, for my condition. It's rough. But like, especially first thing in the morning, just would eat everything at the table. I'm like, all of it's mine.
I'm all the same way. I'm usually the one that if we're not going to take leftovers and we're going to eat like what's there, it's usually me that will eat it. And there's something super awesome about being that person because then you just get more food.
You're like, I love this. But I will say, like, especially like we said, French fries, right? It's like you finish eating, you have some French fries left over, you're not really gonna finish them. I definitely always finish the French fries, for sure.
But what if you have at a place that gives you bottomless French fries?
Well, I'll just finish whatever's like on the plates at the time, but they're not throwing.
Have you ever done that
those
thing?
Fries away.
This seems wrong-ish, but I have sort of done this. Have you ever done that thing where you like when you have bottomless like French fries or bottomless bread, where you'll like eat what's left of it, have them bring out more, and then get the box so you can have a full basket?
Oh yeah, but every time we go to Olive Garden, I'm actually just like, can I get breadsticks to go? And they're like, absolutely. And they bring it out in the little foil bag.
Well, yeah, I mean it's handy. Even like the drinks, like a lot of places nowadays, I've had a lot of places that'll actually offer.
Yeah, if you want it
but
to go.
most places you can get them to go. Like the bottomless drink, be like, can I get another lemonade to go or something? And it's like it's handy. And I mean, realistically, the bottomless food items are ones that you know that their overhead is so low on that they're making money anyway. So it's not really an issue.
This is a really horrible story, but when you said the drinks to go, when I turned 21, I was visiting my mom, and we went out to dinner, and I I'm freshly 21, so I'm like, I wanna order a drink out. So I ordered a Long Island iced tea. It was
Yeah.
bad. Whoever made it didn't know what they were doing. It was just straight liquor. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's like 6 shots of alcohol anyway, but normally at least is a little masked. So I'm feeling pretty good, right? And then my mom's boyfriend ordered me another one, except then we were trying to leave. So then he's asking the waitress for just an empty to go cup. And she's like, yeah, you can't do that. And he's like, no, I mean, we're just going to put our waters in it, right? And it just became this whole really funny thing. She did bring us the cup. Then I will tell you, I was just like dancing through the parking lot.
It was that thing where she's like, I'll bring you the cup, but you have to promise to me she's not the one driving.
Yeah. There's like, listen here. I will say the funniest part of the story is the next day is when Trey proposed. Here's what's important. Here's what's important about this, though. We were at an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, and he didn't eat that much. Trey loves seafood, right? So had I been sober, I would have probably clocked that he wasn't really eating the seafood because he was so nervous about proposing the next day. But I was not coherent enough to realize that he wasn't eating the whole seafood buffet, and it was very funny.
You know, it's interesting. So I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast in any way, shape, or form, even the original part of this.
Yeah.
But we talked about before of the like nervous proposing, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast, but like, so my brother made the comment that when he proposed, he was not even remotely nervous because he's like, I know for a fact she's gonna say yes. It's like we've talked about this a lot. Like it's not like it's a surprise. Like I know she's gonna say yes, right? Mm-hmm. And you said that when Trey proposed, he was super nervous, and you guys had been together for like 4 years. So obviously you're gonna say yes, but he was still nervous because, and I thought the same thing. What my point at the time when we were talking about this the first time was like, yeah, of course you're nervous because like there's a part of you that goes, but what if they say no,
But
right?
what
Like
if?
even if you know they're not going to, right? There's that part of your brain that still says, but what if?
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to be nervous.
Yeah.
And then what's fascinating is that when I proposed, I wasn't nervous, at least not for that reason. Because just like my brother had said, like I wasn't nervous because like we had talked about this before. In fact, we pretended it was sort of a surprise, but she knew I was proposing that day on that date because we had sort of talked about it, and logistically it was the only time it made sense. So
she's like, I can pencil you in at 2:30.
Yeah, pretty much. It's terrible, but unfortunately kind of. I mean, there were elements of it that were a surprise, like some of the things that happened, some of like the plans for the day were a little surprise, but like the specifics of I'm proposing today on date night wasn't surprising.
Also, and I can cut this if you don't want it. Didn't you told me also that you guys went on like a little hike to like you know like a cute little spot or whatever, but it's like winter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
hiking in the winter.
No, yeah, it was. And like, you don't need to worry about cutting that,
Okay.
but like yeah, it was like wintry, and it was it's terrible because that was part of the reason why it ended up that she knew, because it was sort of like she wanted it to be somewhere that was like outdoorsy and preferably somewhere that we had gone on like one of our first dates or was more significant, right? And I'm like, well, here's the problem. We started dating in the summer. So all of our first dates were like outdoors at like these parks or national parks or like hiking or going and doing things. And I'm like, it's winter. I can't propose in the winter and be like, hey, do you randomly want to go hiking today? Like that doesn't make sense. So there's no way I could keep it a surprise anyway.
At least it was decent weather, and it wasn't, because normally we can get a lot of snow this time of year. So it was kind of lucky you weren't like, okay, pack your cross country skis.
Yeah. So like it was she knew. But so like I wasn't nervous from what if she said no? Because obviously I know she's not going to say no. Otherwise she wouldn't have agreed to that's the day I'm going to propose.
Yeah.
Instead, I was nervous from like the same kind of nervous you would get when you're like performing. It was like a performative nerves, like stage fright almost. Because rather than nervous of the like we would say yes or no, it was more of a nervous of the I don't want to stumble over my words. I want to make sure like everything goes smoothly, I guess.
Maybe that's it though. Maybe that's the thing is like if I say the wrong thing, then it is gonna be a no.
Yeah, if I accidentally propose wrong, she's gonna be like, absolutely not.
No, start over, try again. From the top.
From the top.
Oh, could you imagine?
Forget the last 30 seconds happened. Just face that way again. Pretend you weren't paying attention.
Could you imagine though if someone gave you a script? They're like, "This is what I'd like you to say when you propose."
That actually would be really funny. You know what? Okay.
Kind of handy.
There are guys out there that would actually be perfectly okay with that.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure.
Like if you
I think
gave
it
them a
would
script
agree.
that said, "Hey, this is what I want you to say when you propose to me. Use this. Just read off the words." Like there are people out there that would love that because then they're not locked. Like they don't have to come up with the right words. They don't have to like try to feel poetic or whatever you say. It's just like, no, I'm just gonna read what you told me to say, and if you get mad, it's your fault because you told me to say this.
This is what you asked me to say. I wanted more inflection.
How did you not? You didn't put the right inflection. You said it all wrong. I wanted it in an
No.
accent.
That's not how. That's not. I put a comma.
You were supposed to say it French.
Did you see the exclamation point? You're supposed to say with a
You
lot
see
of
those
feeling.
lines right there? Those indicate with passion.
Oh my gosh! What if it was like a play script, like a script where it says the. Then he wipes away a single tear, and he's just like reading it out, and she's like, "No, you're supposed to just do that part. You're not supposed to read
Writing
it."
the screenplay for the proposal would be so funny, though. It's like exterior, evening. Enter these two characters. They're walking in the park. And then it's like this person kneels to the floor. Speaking.
Pause so she can gasp. Hold.
You know what
Continue.
though? Okay. If you did, here's the thing. If you were both theater folk, so let's say you're both like Broadway people, you're theater folk,
Yes.
you both like act in like at least community theater or
Yes.
some sort of thing like that, right? And then you're doing a public proposal. So you're doing one
Sounds like
that
a
like
nightmare.
has an audience, like with all your friends and family
Yeah,
there.
nightmare.
Then that would actually be kind of fun to have like a full scripted out proposal with like acting. And if you framed it, if you could somehow frame it as we have like a 2-man show that we put together and we'd love to see what you guys think that we're working on, right? And then you do the show and then you propose in the show and then your whole audience is sitting there going, wait, was that real or was that for the show?
Yeah. It reminds me of the thing where people show up to a house and then they get bombarded with a wedding. When they're just like, "Oh, we're having a barbecue," and then people show up and it's like, "Oh, by the way, we're getting married. Sit down."
Yeah, I think it'd be so much fun to do I think that the idea of that proposal would be so funny because I'd love the audience's like confusion of, is this real or is this just for the show?
I would love to be in the audience. I do not ever want to be a person involved in putting on like a show to announce something. You know what I mean? Like when people do the big over the top things for like when they have a baby, you know?
Psh, you mean gender reveal parties that like cause forest fires?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of over the top. No need to get Smokey involved.
Yeah.
No, not even that, but just, yeah, like when people, I don't know, I just immediately, what are they, flash mobs? I immediately think of that. I'm like, nah, I just,
The funny part is I have no desire to be in a flash mob. I would be
No.
like, so like, nope, not
I
giving
think
her
I would,
attention.
I'm going to be
And
honest with you,
yet-
I think I'd rather be in the flash mob than the person the flash mob is for.
And yet there is a part of me that has always wanted to do some sort of like acting. And I think I would love doing like a play. Like, well, no, but like any form of acting would be fun. Like even in like a movie or video or like home movie, whatever, some sort of acting, voice acting, whatever. But I think even like on a stage, I think would be a lot of fun.
Wait, all of you growing up, you guys never did like an at-home play or anything?
I was in a play. I've only ever been in one play in my entire
Were you
life.
the tree?
It was a play that my church was putting on when I was like 6. It was traumatizing because I was so incredibly nervous. And I only had one line and I was still so incredibly nervous. And like, I was so nervous that like I burst into tears in the line, which worked in the play. Like if it had done it on purpose, it would have been phenomenal because it was a sad line. And it was like, I was the little tiny kid that was like the "please don't leave" kind of line.
Was that your line? What was your line?
Yeah.
You remember
it? It was, I believe the line was something like a "please don't leave us, I don't want you to go," or something like that.
Is that how you delivered it?
And I was so nervous that I burst into tears, which means it sold the line so well. But it was a little traumatizing. But regardless.
But then that made you really love acting and you really want to pursue
No,
it.
it's just that like I think as a kid I was like, oh my goodness, that's traumatizing. As an adult, I'm like, I don't know, I think it'd be fun. I think I would like being like on like stage acting and like it's kind of like role playing in like like Dungeons and Dragons or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun. I think it's storytelling. I like storytelling in almost any capacity.
That's so weird. I did school plays up through middle school, and then high school came, and I was immediately like, I no longer want to be doing any of this.
See, I know for a fact if I had gone to a public school and not been homeschooled, I know I would have been a theater kid. There's no way I wouldn't have been.
I went to a theater camp one summer, and I loved it. So much fun. Had a great time. But then, like I said, 3 years later, I'm just like, nope, I'm good.
I would have been a theater kid. I would have been doing musicals and all the shows and every single one of them.
I believe that.
Because it would have been fun. I still think it'd be fun. There's a tiny part of me that's considered looking up if there's community theater programs around that I could go audition for.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, do I want to do that? I don't know if I actually want to do that. But there's a part of me that's considered it.
Should we do an improv class?
I would do an improv class. You want to go do an improv class?
I'd try at least one.
Dang. Let's go to an improv class.
Improv theater, right here. Found it.
Okay. I'm dead serious about this. Let's do an improv class.
All right, I'm gonna be way better at improv than you. Mainly because I have the practice. You had that one
competitive
line.
spirit, that right there. That's why we're not really friends.
Don't be jealous.
Of you? Never.